No matter if points are gained or points are lost, there will be much to discuss. For analysis regarding tonight's Winnipeg Jets game, here are Dave Manouk, Ezra Ginsburg, and your host, Drew Mandel. The Illegal Curve post-game show, presented by Play Now, the official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets, starts now.
Good evening, Winnipeg. Good evening, Manitoba. For all those joining us live this evening on our YouTube channel and all of our social media platforms, we say good evening, universe, and welcome to the Illegal Curve post-game show. We gather here tonight to talk about the Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars playing an entertaining contest back and forth, each team giving up the lead at various times. The game goes all the way into extra time, where, as we all just saw, the Dallas Stars defeat the Winnipeg Jets by a 4-3 score. Certainly an entertaining contest, one of the more entertaining games that I can immediately think of this season, particularly because I thought for the most part it was played at a high level. And I thought it was played at a high level by both teams. The Winnipeg Jets, who have obviously struggled this year, as we all know, no need to rehash that over and over again. I thought played one of their better games. And when it goes to overtime, I mean, if Scheifele had scored where he didn't on the breakaway, you know, it's a slightly different story. But all in all, I thought this was a high-quality game in a season where you haven't had a ton of that. With Dave Manouk, with Ezra Ginsburg, I am your host, Drew Mandel. Gentlemen, great to see you both on this rare sort of Monday night contest. Not as many Monday night games as there are games on the other days of the week, but I think full marks, full value, full dollar value for everyone that was in attendance tonight in the Lone Star State and those of us watching back at home here in Winnipeg.
What's up, boys? What's up, chat? Yeah, there's certain certainties in life, right? Death, taxes, and the Dallas Stars beating the Jets by a goal, right? Because it's happened 3 times this year. And you mentioned it was an entertaining game, and I couldn't agree more with you, Drew. There's been some pretty boring games that the Jets have played on this road trip. Mm-hmm. This was definitely not one of them. And these teams seem to always bring out the best in each other, right? We saw them do battle in the second round of the playoffs. This Dallas Stars team, guys, I mean, I don't think, would any of us be surprised if they go back to the Western Conference final? Obviously, Colorado stands in their way, but like, you just watch this team play, and they're so fast. They're so talented. Mikko Rantanen's third goal, we'll get into that in the Play Now game recap, but I mean, that's just a video game goal. Like, you just don't see guys. There's only so many players in the league that can do that, right, Dave? So I was really impressed. I was really impressed with the way the Jets killed off the 5-on-3 in the second period. That obviously didn't result in the Jets winning the game, but it definitely was a part of the game where the Stars could have easily scored, and not just once, maybe even twice, and taken over the momentum of the game, right? So you love how the Jets battled back, tied it up late in the third period. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get the goal in overtime, but Connor Hellebuyck certainly wasn't happy, guys. Like,
I've got some insight on that.
Okay, go ahead, Dave.
No. Well, you finish discussing, and then
I know. I want. Let's get to the insight, Dave. Nothing I have to say is going to be more interesting. I want to know what Hellebuyck was complaining about.
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off, but to continue your thought, you were saying that Hellebuyck was, and we didn't know. We were discussing it in our pre-show chit chat, and I had someone DM me saying that his helmet there was a strap loose, and so that's probably why he felt that it had come loose in the previous play. Expected a whistle, and I mean, it's speculation; it's not confirmed. It's not Hellebuyck saying it, but I suspect that's what it is. And then he sent me a video. So that is probably what it was is that he was and
that came off before Scheifele's breakaway, Dave.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So if it was such a problem for Hellebuyck, as soon as Scheifele was stopped, he should have taken the mask off and said, my helmet's not right.
Well, I'm not so certain. In fact, if he takes his helmet off, I'm pretty sure it's a penalty, Drew. So I don't think he's allowed to, isn't it?
You could shake it off and say, I mean, we've seen goalies shake it off 1,000 times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would imagine that I suspect it came loose on the previous chance, and then not wanting to prevent Scheifele, he's probably waiting, and then it happens rather quickly. So, but I suspect, again, we don't know for sure, but I'm just saying that would be what someone had said.
That makes sense, Dave, because
it does make sense.
The only other thing that we were discussing before we went live here was maybe Hellebuyck saw too many men on the ice. That was the only other thing that we thought.
Maybe Harley came on early
because it wasn't offside. Duchesne wasn't offside, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, so it appears to be. Well, I'm just saying that appears to be reasonably. It seems logical that would be the thing that he was very upset with.
Look, if that's the situation, and I mean, I'm sure, and it's one of two things.
Here's Tom Servo 1977 saying, "Wait, did the Jets broadcast not show it? I can confirm it. They did not."
Yeah,
and so he continues. The Stars broadcast did. He took a shot off the mask and the strap snapped off, which again, like I said, is what I saw when which I got via DM. So.
One of two things. It was either the strap.
So Tom, by the way, the chat comes through again, Drew.
But look, then complaining about it after they've scored is, to me, not the way to go about it. If you have this strap issue, he should be screaming at the official the entire time after, you let Scheifele have his chance.
Mm-hmm.
But scream your bloody head off at the official, and maybe he was. I don't know. Maybe he was. Maybe he was saying, the strap's off, my strap's off, my strap's off. But after it goes in, it's obviously a day late and $1 short at that point in time. Scream about it before it goes in is what I would say in that instance. Because there's plenty of time between when Scheifele is stopped and then the puck transitions all the way back up the ice. It wasn't like it was a bang it's this point in time.
Well, and
if it's that big of an issue,
the referee obviously didn't know about it, right? So
then, again, I don't know the particulars. I don't know what he was saying on the ice. I'm just saying it looked very odd to do it afterwards when there's been this long gap in time in between.
Well, we got Kenny Weeb on the road, right? I'm sure he'll ask about that. I wouldn't be surprised if he asked Scott Arniel about that.
Yeah, I'm confident that Kenny will do the legwork necessary to provide more insight into that one. But it was just, the whole sequence was a little bit odd because he was certainly very upset about it, which is justifiable if he was saying what he needed to be saying.
Well,
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, saying that he was saying that.
Well, and also on the TSN broadcast, they just kept it on Hellebuyck, and sorry, I forgot who was reffing tonight's game, but they just kept it on them for like, I don't know, it felt like 30 seconds.
It was either Michael Markovich or Francois Saint Laurent. Francois Saint Laurent, if you remember,
was Paul Maurice's buddy.
Maurice's buddy.
I think it was Francois Saint Laurent, Drew, that he was talking to.
Okay, well, that, and I'm sure that's not going to make Francois Saint Laurent any more popular among Winnipeg Jets fans.
I still remember that you're talking about when they came back from the intermission and Maurice just gave him the death stare. And then he kicked him out of the game. That's what you're talking about, right?
Because he was upset with a hit on...
Was that in Tampa Bay?
Yeah, and it was a hit that was leveled on Brian Little, wasn't it? I mean, right. I think it was...
I don't remember that, but I do remember he just stared him down and he just kicked him out.
Right, and I think it was because it was a hit that was on Brian Little that went uncalled the period before. And yeah, that's exactly...
You have a better memory than I do.
That's exactly what it was. And, I don't have... we're off topic here because we're not talking about what happened in Tampa Bay 10 years ago. But in that instance, the official...
Strawman hit Ehlers and Little in the second period, and that it injured Little, and no penalties were called on the ice.
There you go. I remember Little being injured as a result.
And Dave, you're not reading anything. You just remember that.
Totally. That was completely... I was like...
Well, how many years ago? That must have been, 7 or 8 years ago?
Oh yeah, well, I already closed the window, but sure.
Definitely a long time ago at this point.
Open the window.
Let's
hate fresh air in, Dave.
I hate when officials just look for get into a pissing match with a coach.
2016.
Well, 10 years ago. So, I mean, anyways, Francois Saint Laurent will certainly not be any more popular in Winnipeg after that, and certainly not any more popular with Connor Hellebuyck after the end of the contest tonight, which we'll get into as we get going here on the Illegal Curve post-game show, and, of course, get into the Play Now game recap. I mean, look, this was I thought, like I said, an entertaining contest that started slowly in that first period. The Jets, their penalty kill deserves credit. You kill off a 2-man advantage against this Dallas Stars power play. That's something
second best one in the NHL.
Well, that's right. The second best one in the NHL. That's a significant kill for the Jets to have done so. Again, if the Jets had played at this level more often this year, it's probably a different story. And it's not like the Jets have, played down to their competition. I think they rose up to their competition tonight, something that they haven't been able to do all that often. But you saw an entertaining contest where, a number of the Jets lines, I mean, you can't talk about tonight's game without talking about the impact of Cole Perfetti, in particular, and the line between him, Lowry, and Velarde. My estimation, they were the Jets' best line in tonight's contest.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. And I'm just looking at some of the advanced stats numbers like shot attempts, expected goals, Hold on here, Drew. Let me get to expected goals percentage, 0.49 to 0.26. Pretty good. Yeah, like this line, they have something here. And we've been talking about it pretty much since the Jets went on that 11-game losing streak, during the 11-game losing streak, I should say. Like, how do you get that second line going, right? Because clearly Taves wasn't getting that second line going. For a little while, Taves and Perfetti had some chemistry, but clearly Velarde is the key, right, guys, to that second line. And Lowry has looked good on that line, and he opens up some space for both of those guys. He almost had a goal. Remember when there was the turnover, and it was Velarde that created the turnover, and then Perfetti got it to Lowry, but I don't even think Lowry got a shot, Dave. I don't think he got it away, but
he pushed it wide. I think he was tied up in front. So,
but you can see when those guys are connected, like when those guys, like you have the ability of a guy like Velarde to dig up pucks, and Perfetti's obviously the playmaker on that line, and Lowry's the guy that can go to the net. You can see like when they're clicking, like they've got something there. So,
right.
I don't necessarily know that Gus Nyquist is going to stay on the first line. I mean, I'm not saying he was.
He didn't even stay on the first line the whole game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, like Nyquist. It's nice
because the first line got caved in today. Like when there was Nyquist and Kyle Connor.
We'll talk about their lack of defense in the goals against.
No question. We'll talk about that. But they at 5-on-5, they just got absolutely caved in. 5 shot attempts for 15 shot attempps against.
That good?
No, it's not good. I mean, it was not expected goals percentage, expected goals for percentage of 7%. I mean, they somehow were worse than the Nemesnikov, Taves, and Niederreiter line, and that line has not been very good since they were put together as a trio against they were put together for the Florida game. Look, Perfetti, Lowry, and Velarde were the Jets' best line in tonight's game. They were the driving force offensively for the Jets tonight. And kudos to Cole Perfetti, our buddy Connor Harabchuk, Liz Hood on the on WST on their Sunday morning. They were talking about how Perfetti's numbers since the beginning of January have been akin to his performance last year, where he's been producing, at least over the last month, similar numbers to what he did on a per game basis last year. And that's certainly a good sign for the Winnipeg Jets. Now, unfortunately, it's probably too little too late for this season, but it does seem that Cole Perfetti is at least showing glimpses of him becoming or getting back to being the quality player that he was last year, especially towards the end of the season last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Jets need him, right? Like, regardless if the Jets are going to be a playoff team, which most likely they're not going to be a playoff team, they need him going forward. Like, he's a key part of the future. And I agree with you. I thought he was one of the best forwards tonight. And like I said earlier, I really like that line. I think they're going to stick together. In terms of, some of the other line combinations, we'll see, because I still think you need some work there on the third line. I actually thought Taves, Niederreiter, and Nemesnikov earlier in the game had some jump. They were noticeable. The fourth line obviously was not a big factor in tonight's game, but I guess, guys, you go back to Iafallo on the top line. Like, if you're going to keep Velarde with Lowry and Perfetti, you probably go back to Iafallo on the top line. Nyquist is not. I'm talking about, like, not just for next game. I'm talking about for the foreseeable future. Give them some more games together, because we know how good Iafallo has been on that line at times, right? So. Impressive game. It's unfortunate they don't get the extra point, because that extra point would be huge, right? Like, even though you're still, I guess, 8 points back now, getting that extra point would have been nice. But again, I think if you're a Jets fan, this was almost the perfect result. They're still playing hard. They still get a point, but you don't get 2 points. Obviously, I'm joking. There's a certain
most of the people on the ethical tank bandwagon are certainly happy with tonight's performance. Everything about it are things that they can live with. Like you said,
I don't subscribe to the ethical tank. I think that literally makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, an ethical tank means.
I think if there's not ethical tank T-shirts by the end of the season, I don't know what we're doing here anymore.
Well, why aren't you producing them then?
Not a legal curve. We don't do that. But I just think that this market is too good. Well,
ethical tank is like something an academic came up with, and that makes no sense. You know what I mean? Like losing is, I'm going to say it again, losing is not tanking.
Although I will say that speaking of merch and being seen out and about, apparently some folks, I'll name names in a second, were out and about at the Moose game wearing Illegal Curve merch, and that would be Professor Hellebuyck, who was sporting his Illegal Curve merch and was viewed from the Illegal Curve section or the zone by the Weeb family who were there on Sunday as our guest.
There you go. Everybody was doing their Illegal Curve, best on Sunday at the Moose game. But that's terrific. Like we were talking about, Jets dropped this one 4-3 in overtime. Let's get into the goal by goal recap tonight. See what happened on goal by goal basis.
The Play Now game recap.
Big thanks to our friends at Play Now for their continued support of the Illegal Curve post-game show, as well as all of the Illegal Curve broadcasts. Don't bet on illegal sites. Bet with Play Now instead. Keep your money in Manitoba. Let it keep helping our financial well-being as a province. Play Now is Manitoba's local, legal, and secure gambling site. 18 plus. Enjoy responsibly. Big thanks to Play Now for their support. Dallas Stars opened the scoring 48 seconds into the second period. I guess I shouldn't gloss over the first that quickly. Shots were 8-8 in that first period. I thought of the three periods in tonight's game, the first period certainly was the most feeling out of the of the periods, I would say, where it was the most it was fine. It wasn't bad. It was fine, but it wasn't the most exciting first period we've seen this season, I would suggest.
Yeah, it was pretty even. There were some chances both ways. But certainly, yeah, I mean, the game, I think the middle frame is when it went to that next level.
Yeah, that's where it picked up. And then Jason Robertson gets the Dallas Stars on the board, his 31st goal of the season. This is with Jonathan Taves in the box. He takes a late first period hooking penalty. Robertson is 31st assist to Mikko Rantanen and Rupe Hintz. You don't want to give the Dallas Stars that many power play opportunities, right, Dave M? Where do they rank overall in the NHL? Number 2. Number two. It's a beautiful shot pass by Rantanen, slap pass, and he puts it right onto the stick of Robertson. So he just redirects it past Connor Hellebuyck. A little bit loose with the gap, I would argue, that the Jets are here. Barron is on the ice, Kepke's on the ice, Sandberg and DeMello as well. You just can't let that pass get through there and or not have anybody tying up the stick of Jason Robertson. It's too easy of a play for two very high skill players in both Rantanen and Robertson to execute, and they do so seamlessly to give the Stars the 1-0 lead.
If you're wondering why the Stars have the second best power play in the NHL, you just watch them tonight. Yeah. Like, honestly, like you're right. I mean, Robertson and Rupe Hintz and Heiskanen and Rantanen, like it's unbelievable. And you're right. I mean, Dylan DeMello, pardon me. Like, what I was going to say is this goal, you look at it and the Jets are in position and it's just they executed. It's just a really nice passing play and a nice tip.
Yeah. My only complaint would be that DeMello's the weak side defenseman, and he really should move over and grab Robertson because Sandberg's trying to, he's on the strong side. So you'd think that he's got to kind of prevent the shot or try and get in the lane. And DeMello could have moved over at that point and tried to take the man who's in front of the net. So that's one of the things we've heard a lot of talk of was the tip goals that are going past Connor Hellebuyck this year. And I mean, as he's right. I mean, it's a great pass it's a great play by Rantanen and Robertson. But I just think if DeMello moves over, then he at least can tie up Robertson's stick a little bit there.
Yeah, Robertson just has to have a stick on the ice, and Rantanen hits it perfectly. I mean, Mikko Rantanen is one of the best players in this league. We all know that. So, I mean, it's not a surprise that he's able to execute this play. I mean, this is what happens when, to be frank, the Jets are fortunate that, they only gave up the one power play goal in tonight's game. Given that the Stars had the 5-on-3, they were also able to kill off Jonathan Taves' second hooking penalty, which came in the third period. I mean, you play with fire. It's like against it's like giving the Edmonton Oilers too many man advantages when they have Draisaitl and McDavid and, all the litany of stars that they have, pardon the pun. You eventually are just going to get, you might get into a little bit too much trouble, as the Jets did on this one, giving up the opening goal 48 seconds into the second period. To the Jets' credit, though, it takes them less than 2 minutes to tie the game up. 2:26. Gabe Vilardi, his 21st of the season assist to Perfetti and Lowry. I'm watching it on my second screen here, and the Jets do a good job. Vilardi gets it up in the defensive zone, then Lowry gets it out as well, and now they come in on a 2-on-1. It's Perfetti, and he's got Morrissey with him. The defenseman back for the Dallas Stars is some young up-and-coming defenseman named Miro Heiskanen, so he's got a little bit of talent for the Dallas Stars as well. And Perfetti takes the shot, and Gabe Vilardi, who's the trailer on the play. So kudos to Vilardi for being the third man up there for the Winnipeg Jets, managing to beat all of the Stars players. So it's now almost a 3-on-1. Vilardi comes in and he gets the rebound off of the Ottinger save. And it was, the shot by Perfetti was to the far pad of Ottinger, which of course naturally creates a large rebound, which is why it goes right onto the stick of Vilardi. He makes no mistake wiring it past Ottinger, and the Jets have tied the game up 1 goal apiece, 2 minutes and 26 seconds into the second period, Ezzy.
Yeah, it's like you just said, Drew, it's a very smart play by Cole Perfetti. He shoots for the rebound, knowing that maybe Morrissey will get that rebound to the right of Ottinger, but I think he knows, like you said, Vilardi's the trailer. He knows Vilardi's going to come in and get the rebound. So it's just a really smart play, but also, as you mentioned at the top, Lowry makes a nice play to get it up to Perfetti or Vilardi. I forget who was. I think it was Vilardi on the wing. No, it was Perfetti. Lowry gets it up to Perfetti on the wing.
Yeah.
And it's just a nice play to get it out of the zone. It was Lindell who kind of pinched up. So smart by Lowry to see that Lindell's pinched up, gets it along the boards to Perfetti, and then just, like you said, Vilardi sees that it's a 2-on-1. So he says, hey, boys, I want to join the party. Let's make this a 3-on-1. So, yeah, it's a really nice goal. And like you said, Drew, a really good response after Dallas scored on the power play early in the second.
Yeah, it's also a bit of a fortuitous bounce. So when the Jets clear it out of the zone, I don't know if it hits the linesman's skate. It doesn't. I couldn't tell if it hits his skate.
Well, I thought you were going to ask if it hit him, but it did hit him.
Yeah, okay. Or if it hits the linesman, and that's what sort of pops, it sort of both slows it down and pops it into the middle of the ice, which allows.
Yeah, but it still would have gone. It still would have been like, let's pretend the linesman's not there. It still would have got to Perfetti, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm watching it, and if I wonder if it's got too much juice on it, and if it doesn't hit the linesman, Heiskanen might have a play on a loose puck there. He'd be battling Perfetti to get to a loose puck before it necessarily becomes a 2-on-1.
Yeah,
it's
fair enough.
But
that's the way hockey is, right? Sometimes you get those bounces, sometimes you don't.
You don't have to apologize for it. You're absolutely right, Ezzy. You never know when a good bounce is going to come your way and when a bad bounce is going to come your way, as it certainly has happened this season a bunch of times. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, and the only thing I would add, and nothing about the analysis on that goal, but it's just another testament to Gabriel Vilardi's season, right, guys? I mean, 21 goals, 27, 28 assists. And we've been talking about him more and more, and just he's become a real important player. And you move him off of the Scheifele and Connor line, guys. And one of the things we talked about is how is he going to be able to handle it? Would he be able to produce? And we see that he does. Here's a 5-on-5 goal. We know he also produces on the 5-on-4 opportunity for the Jets. But I just think that it's just another, at least feather in the cap of Gabriel Vilardi that he's having in what has been a down year mostly. I mean, again, there's some good individual performances. Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor are individually producing quite a bit, as is Gabriel Vilardi.
And Logan Stanley, but that's a separate issue.
Well,
Talk about that when we get to the third
thinking
goal.
forwards, but let's save the Norris Trophy talk till the third and final Jets goal.
We can do that. Jets lead tie it up 1-1 at this point. So, off after a sort of not a sleepy first period, but a goalless first period. You got 2 goals in the first 2:26 of the second period. Let's add to that. Let's make it 3 goals in 3:58 to start the second period. This one's a power play goal. Cole Perfetti is the recipient of the goal, his 6th of the season. Assist to Velarde, assist to Scheifele. Who's in the box for the Stars here? This is with Rantanen in the box for tripping. Yeah. So Mikko Rantanen was all over the ice in tonight's game, pro and con. Mika, so he's in the box.
Rantanen, look at his PIMs. People don't realize he takes a lot of penalties
because he
plays
not
on the
afraid to shy. He's not afraid to be playing on a physical style of game. He's a bull out there. There's a reason why his nickname is Moose. I mean, you heard them chanting Moose in Dallas tonight. It's because he's like a moose, on the ice there. He's so
without looking, how many penalty minutes do you think Rantanen has this year?
Ooh, how many games? Okay, tell me how many games has Dallas played?
50. Hold on.
88.
No,
53 games.
50. You think he's taking a minor penalty every?
Yeah.
Just a few. You're pretty close, Dave. Actually,
really?
You're close. He's got 83 penalty minutes.
That's pretty good, actually.
Wow.
On pace for over 100 penalty minutes.
That's more than I would have thought. I mean, is that all minors? I mean, I'm sure he's got a major in there, a fighting major.
Oh yeah, there's got to be a misconduct or 2 in there.
Something like that. It seems like a lot of minor penalties.
Based on the yodeler, I went over, so I guess I did win.
You lost on the Price is Right version of this game, but that's okay. In any event, he's in the box here as we talk about his penalty minutes, and Cole Perfetti gets his 6th of the season, assist to Velarde and Scheifele. This comes 1 minute and 32 seconds after the Jets had tied it up. What I love about this goal, first of all, it's a clean face-off win by Scheifele, so that's a good start. Gets it back. Morrissey's got the puck, and he gets it over the Scheifele. Scheifele sends it in deep to Velarde. But as he sends it to Velarde, Velarde is not stationary. Velarde is already receiving the puck while in movement, while in motion. And he's got the opportunity where he's taking the puck. He can come right out in front of Ottinger and try a jam play, or he can, use the motion that he's generating and find the pop play to Perfetti. He chooses the pop play to Perfetti, who's the man in the slot, and it's on and off Perfetti's stick in a blink of an eye, and he wires it past Ottinger. The defender on this case is Esa Lindell, who's sort of not in no man's land, but he's sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't, as to who he's going to take. The Jets execute their power play setup to perfection on this goal, and as a result, they have a 2-1 lead just before the 4-minute mark of the second period, Dave.
Well, and they break an 0-for-14 streak, and it's important because the power play, like we said, they've seen, and Scott O'Neill spoke about it against about how it looked against the Florida Panthers in their last game, and just they moved it a little bit quicker, I think, than they weren't at quite as stationary. I thought a little bit in this game against Dallas, and Dallas doesn't have. I can't remember where their PK is. I want to say their PK is it's 9th, maybe, or maybe it's a little bit lower. I'm not certain.
Look.
No, I should know it because I wrote about it in the pregame report, but that seems like a lifetime ago. So, but anyways, the 13, point is
80% on the
there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's obviously not quite as deadly as their power play, obviously, but it's just nice movement by the Winnipeg Jets. And you're right. It just seems like Cole Perfetti, as he is starting to find that groove that we've been saying. I mean, again, we've said this for a long time. We're not here to make excuses. We will call players out when they are not playing well. But the fact is that a guy who had a high ankle sprain is not at the same level as everyone else. It's just the reality. So, I mean, he came back. It was clear. It was clear as day that to all of us, all the people in the chat, watching Cole Perfetti was not the same Cole Perfetti as he is currently. You can see he's turned that corner a little bit. And again, he's not the play driver the way, Mark Scheifele can drive a line, or Kyle Connor in theory could drive a line. He's not there, but ultimately he's playing much better of late than he has been. And you're seeing that with that reward, and he gets to the power play and he puts that one in, and the Jets have a 2-1 lead.
Well, if you're looking for duos that the Jets can build around, I mean, it seems, Connor and Scheifele, that's certainly a duo that the Jets can, have built.
They play
around.
Together a lot?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, they have built around them, and they can continue to rely on that duo. But it does seem like Perfetti and Velarde, for the rest of this season and then moving forward, seems like that's a duo that can also be, has some chemistry, has some usefulness together. Now, of course, the missing piece for that line is, the centerman. That's always been the missing piece. But it seems like, that Velarde and Perfetti enjoy playing together at the very least, as they seem to have developed some chemistry that the Jets can use moving forward.
Yeah, well, you've got some talented wingers there, right? Like these are guys that have lots of skill. They can set plays up, they can score. And I think the point that you made, Drew, was a good one about Velarde moving, because if he's stationary there, sure, he can still make a move to the net. But what he does by giving himself a little speed burst to the right of Ottinger at the goal line, what he does is he becomes a very dangerous option to either take the puck to the net and make a play. But it's just, you're right. It was a good, I just thought I would mention that. It was a good point by you that he comes out there and he makes it really dangerous. And you have to respect Velarde because of the skill he has. He can shoot and also set up plays. But it's just like, I've talked about this before, like the triangulation, right? Like that's what you try to do. It's Scheifele to Velarde to Perfetti. Like it seems like teams should do this all the time.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do it because teams know that you're trying to do it, right? So like you said, it was the hitman. Bret Hart would be happy with this excellence of execution here.
Excellent wrestling reference there, Mr. Ginsburg. 2-1 for the Jets at this point. That's when they begin to get into the penalty trouble that we talked about, where Luke Shen takes an interference penalty. Morgan Barron takes a tripping penalty, leaving the Dallas Stars with a sizable, lengthy 5-on-3 opportunity, which to the Jets' credit, and Dave, you put out the tweet before, and then you had to sort of take the tweet back.
I stand by it. You take a 5-on-3 with a minute 14 to go.
A bad idea.
In the first penalty against the second best power play in the NHL. Sorry, Drew, that I will not rescind my "this is fine" meme that I used.
But it turned out to be fine for the Jets, as they did kill off the penalty.
They did.
The house was not on fire, or at least the fire was the damage by the fire was kept to a minimum. The Jets kill off the 5-on-3, but unfortunately they can't propel that to a positive turn of events in the game, as the Dallas Stars tie it up with Nils Lundqvist getting his third of the season assist to Matt Duchene and Jamie Benn. And it's just poor defending by the Winnipeg Jets on this play. The Stars bring it out. It's at first there's nothing dangerous about this. This is a 3-on-3 situation. Kyle Connor is, it's maybe a 4-on-3. Kyle Connor's a little bit slow getting back into the play. Actually,
it's a little more than slow, Drew.
Let's just call it what it is. He's coasting, floating. Sure, floating. We'll go with floating.
Nyquist. I mean, the point is, and I'm just gonna you finish it off. But people want to pillory DeMello, which I think on the first goal is fine. On this one, again, remember DeMello's got Steele, and then he's got to get Lundqvist because there's no forward who's getting the defensemen or one of the Stars forwards who've penetrated the zone. Both Nyquist and Connor are absolutely floating. But go on.
Well, that's exactly right. You guys said it before better than I could have. They're not back. They're not getting on their horse back hard enough, is what it boils down to. And that is, it's not good for Kyle Connor. For Gus Nyquist, it's fairly inexcusable, I would argue. I mean, if you have to be doing everything to not look bad when you watch the video, but this is not a great one for Kyle Connor. It's not a great one for Gus Nyquist. Scheifele's back there, but he doesn't really do much of any.
What I was going to say though, I mean, okay, guys, so it's very easy. Like now that we like not now. This isn't just happened today. What I meant to say is with NHL.com, we can watch the replay over and over again. Like just watching this goal, Dave, I don't know if you've got it up there too, but does Scheifele have to stick with Lundqvist there? Because like you said, Dylan DeMello, by Scheifele not taking anybody, DeMello has to now cover two guys basically. So like if you watch the replay, Scheifele's there. Like, does he just stay with Lundqvist there? I'm not sure, whose man is who, but certainly that wasn't there was miscoverage there, I guess is what I'm saying.
Scheifele's just sort of goes towards Duchene, But at that, but by going towards, Duchesne is not a dangerous player on this play. It's Duchesne who
Right.
makes the great pass to not to Lundqvist. But
No, but Lundqvist
Connor
is up the middle.
Hellebuyck.
Lundqvist is up the middle,
That's
and
what I'm saying.
Scheifele's right behind him. That's
And
what
then
I'm
he
saying.
just veers off and goes
That's
towards
what I'm saying.
Duchesne.
Should Scheifele, like, I'm asking the question. I think I know the answer.
Yes.
I think Scheifele has to stay with Lundqvist there.
He absolutely Lundqvist in this instance is the dangerous player. Hellebuyck and Morrissey are both there to deal with Duchesne if Duchesne goes on the shot. So that part of it is taken care of. DeMello needs the assistance from Scheifele to tie up sticks of Lundqvist and Sam Steele on this play. Instead, Scheifele continues to go for a skate when he's back in the Jet zone. He veers away from the center of the ice and goes after the shot by Duchesne.
Which makes no sense because Morrissey's there.
And so is Hellebuyck to make the save.
Sure. So, but I'm saying you're just creating a redundancy, which creates a problem in front of the goaltender, which is what I said, which is why when people are blaming DeMello, I'm like, well, DeMello's on Steele. And then he realizes, well, wait a second, now I got to watch out for
I agree with you 100%, Dave. It's not on DeMello. He's not out of position. He has to cover somebody. He has to cover somebody.
He's a little late. He's a smidge late to get over to Lundqvist, but he's with Steele. Again, I would imagine he's probably in this scheme that the Jets have. You would think that in his mind, there's a forward. And like I said, I don't like the way Connor and Nyquist are floating to get back. But ultimately, you got to think that Scheifele, as the center, needs to be looking at that at Lundqvist as his man. And then again, remember, then DeMello is in position fine as because he's got Steele covered, and Morrissey's got Duchesne.
I agree with you more. And Kyle Connor is again, Connor's one of the Jets' best players. He's floating here.
Yeah,
he's not taking anybody.
No,
and Drew mentioned it. This isn't an odd man situation. This is the Stars come over the blue line, and it's an even, like, the Jets have numbers. Like, there's no, it's not like, so to me, this is just, I guess, not being very solid defensively and just having missed coverage, right?
Yeah,
like
you're lackadaisical. Whereas the Dallas Stars in this case, they went hard to the middle of the net. I mean, I'm watching. Again, I love the game visualizer because you can really you can freeze it instantaneously. And this is just after Duchesne has let go of the shot. You can see that DeMello is the only Jets player, outside the blue paint. You have Steele there. You have Lundqvist there. You also have Jamie Benn, who's right over there after he sort of was involved in the original part of the play. The Jets are there's 3 Jets players who are towards Matt Duchesne and only 1 Jets player in front of the net. That's a bad combination.
Right, which is why I'm saying, like, that's why if that puck doesn't go in through Lundqvist, Drew, to your point, then Ben has a chance because both Nyquist and Connor are not anywhere close to him. Right. And so that's why I'm saying it's complete.
It's blown coverage.
Yeah, it's just absolutely blown coverage. But it looks worse for DeMello, right? Because he happens to be the guy who's in front, and then he's late to get his stick over. But
I don't have a problem with the way DeMello played this.
It's a collective.
Could he have been harder on the puck, Dave? Yeah, he could have been harder on the puck. He could have gotten a little bit more of the stick. But it's not. That's not what the main. If you were to say what the main reason why this goal happened is because Scheifele doesn't follow Lundqvist.
Yeah.
Lundqvist is basically kind of free to go there. DeMello's checking Steele, but then he has to go back to Lundqvist.
Right.
Ben and Duchesne. Morrissey has to cover 2 guys. So, I mean, look, Dallas is a great team, but that's a preventable goal. I mean, that goal doesn't have to happen.
And you could almost see it setting itself up, couldn't you? Even before they scored, you could kind of watch, like, they were kind of cutting through the Jets a little bit like butter. And the Jets are looking soft on this play. And then sure enough, they scored to make it a 2-2 game. So tough for the Jets because you built yourself a little momentum with the back-to-back goals, and now you've allowed Dallas, who is a pretty good team, to tie the game.
Yeah, 2-2 after 40 minutes. That's where the second period concludes. 4 goals in that second period. Certainly a more entertaining one than the first period. And in the third period, again, sort of where the second period left off, I would argue, in terms of quality of play. Both teams still performing at a high level. Speaking of high level, I guess it's high level and low level, all in the same play.
Hold on, Drew, before you mention that one, though, the Lowry chance was, I mean, I know we talked about it in the preamble a little bit, but I mean, it was early enough in that third period that if he gets that goal, nice pass by Cole Perfetti.
Yes.
I'm not saying it makes the game a different game, but I mean, obviously it does, right? But I'm just saying, not to say Dallas couldn't have tied it, but it's just unfortunate that he's unable to bury that chance.
Yeah, that's a very fair comment. I mean, yeah, Lowry just had a good opportunity on his stick and it just wasn't able to capitalize on it. Mikko Rantanen was able to capitalize on his puck being on his stick, his 20th of the year. Assist was it? Is it Raconian? That's how they pronounce it.
What is this? Stars lunch?
Well, I mean, yes.
I honestly think
I think it's Justin. Is it? I think it's Rakovian.
Rakovian, yeah. I think like he's only played a few games. Like, sorry, he's played most of the season, but he only played a few games last year. He's unsigned.
Yeah,
and there's kind of similarities. Like, I don't know if you guys thought this, but there's kind of similarities between this and like Bufflin. Like, you look at the name, and it doesn't, like, the way Dan Robertson was saying it. I thought it was Rakovian, but yeah, I think you're good, Drew.
Okay, thank you. Anyways, he gets the secondary assist, the primary assist on it, and Miro Heiskanen gets the secondary assist on it, but it's all Mikko Rantanen. I mean, Mikko Rantanen takes the puck he gets the puck at the Jets blue line, and Alex Iafallo is, close enough to being, close to his hip pocket, and Luke Schenn is the defender. And Rantanen sheds Iafallo, and then he absolutely just walks Luke Schenn as if Luke Schenn was a toddler and Rantanen was a grown-up just walking around him. I mean,
he posterized him, Drew.
The NHL equivalent of posterizing. Yes, that would be absolutely fair. Schenn still looking for his jockstrap, as the old expression goes. And then he comes in all alone on Connor Hellebuyck, and then he makes Connor Hellebuyck look for his jockstrap too on the same play. It's a double jockstrapping. I'm not sure if that's an official terminology, but we can trademark it here on the show. It's the old double jockstrapping. Double jock strap. Yeah, okay, I got it.
What was that old back in the day? Like, remember somebody said that he couldn't hold his jock strap, or there was some comment. Remember,
there was Patrick Waugh and Jeremy Roenick went at it in that regard. Remember, he said his jock strap was I think it was Roenick. Roenick said move he made on Waugh.
Yeah,
he was looking for his jock strap, and then Waugh said that's when Waugh made his famous. I couldn't hear Jeremy because I had my 2 Stanley Cup rings in my ears.
Yeah,
that's one of the best comebacks ever, Dave. For sure.
It is a pretty good comeback.
No, but I mean, okay. So first of all, yes, Rantanen is a wizard. He's absolutely incredible. Like Drew said, he's easily top 10 forward in the league, maybe even top 5. I mean, there's some other forwards that get a lot of headlines, like
top 10 though, for
top
sure.
10,
I mean,
top 10 for sure.
Yeah,
and maybe offensively, like top 5. Like, it's ridiculous what he can do. So yeah, he goes outside, inside on Schenn. But I really thought, like, again, easy for me to say when Mikko Rantanen is coming down on Hellebuyck, but I found like it really weird how Hellebuyck played. Maybe it's just me, but like the way he kind of goes to the post and then kind of is like off balance.
He's guessing is what Hellebuyck looked like on this play. You're right. He goes down, I would argue, too early, and this sort of flops around like a bit of a fish rather than trying to like match up to what Rantanen's going to do. Like, he goes down. He goes to
the right post. Like, he almost hugs the right post.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, Dave. It was
it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It was just, I just thought it was like I was watching it happen.
He took himself out of position.
Exactly.
If he stays square, then I mean, he's a pretty big guy. And then Rantanen's going to run out of space, right? So there's only so much room he's got. So you're like, okay, I mean, Schenn just gets, I mean, that's just embarrassing. But Rantanen, I mean, and the problem also is that Logan Stanley also probably would have been burned. If Rantanen gets it over, it's an easy tap in because Stanley kind of loses his man.
Well,
but
Stanley's trying to keep an eye on, hang on, let me see who the other forward coming up there is. Stanley's also
probably Wyatt Johnston.
Yeah, exactly. Number 53, Wyatt Johnson.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So there's a chance for a easy tap in, but I don't know. Like, Hellebuyck didn't play it well because, like I said, he takes the right side. I mean, look, the guy's won a Vezina, a couple of Vezinas, so it's hard to criticize his goaltending or act like I know more than what he should have been doing. But it was a bit of an odd play because maybe he was so amazed by Rantanen's move on Schenn that he kind of caught himself watching and he's like, oh shoot, I got to make a save here. And then by that time it was too late.
Well, like I said to you guys before we went live, like watching that, it looked like it was happening in slow motion. Like, it was happening so quick. But then when he went and did that extra move on Hellebuyck,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it just, he looked very awkward playing that. And
Yeah, I
look,
agree.
Dave, we can say that. We can say that and at the same time say that Helly is one of the best goalies in the NHL. We can say both of those things can be true, right?
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, maybe not one of the best this year, but over the
No, I mean generally.
yeah,
though.
generally speaking,
You
he's
don't win. You
considered
don't win
one of the
3 Vezinas by mistake.
No question about that. So 3-2 for the Dallas Stars on the strength of the Rantanen goal, and then another Rantanen goal makes it 3-3, which is hard to do, but that's the Logan Stanley gets his 9th of the season with the goalie pulled, the first time all season that the Jets have scored a goal with the extra skater on the ice, with the extra attacker. Logan Stanley, kudos to Scott Arniel. He plays a hunch, and he goes with the rare pairing of Stanley and Morrissey out on the ice as the Jets are looking to equalize, and it pays off. Some good pressure by the Winnipeg Jets, some good zone time. The puck ends up on the stick of Logan Stanley, and the Stanley bomb. I don't know if this one was necessarily the Stanley bomb, but it was a Stanley shot and a redirection off.
More of a flutter a puck.
Yeah, there you go. Redirects off of the stick of Rantanen and past Jake Ottinger, assist to Scheifele, assist to Connor, and the game is tied up with 1:43 to go. Again, it's been a dream season for Logan Stanley. Scott Arniel plays a hunch, and he guesses right on this one. And it's a fortuitous bounce, I mean, for the Winnipeg Jets, in that it goes off of Rantanen's stick and just sort of leaves Ottinger a little befuddled when the puck gets behind him and into the net.
Actually, when that goal went in, what you actually that sound that you heard was one of those money counting machines just going like just counting all the money that Logan Stanley's going to be making. So yeah, I mean, Kyle Connor, I don't know if you mentioned Drew, Kyle Connor hits the crossbar right before that, right? Like, so sure. Kyle Connor was looking amazing on that shift. And by the way, Mark Scheifele, 40th assist of the season. Dave will like this.
7 times or 8 times.
Quick little, he's got 840 assist seasons, and he's on pace to break his career high, which was 50.
Yeah, he had 150 season.
Yeah.
There you go. Good.
I do like that, Ezzy. Some good.
I mean, 840 assist seasons is pretty ridiculous.
I don't know what the Ginsburg equivalent of Minutia is, though. That's the problem.
It's an honorary Minuk. It's fine.
Okay. Anyways, that's where it is 3-3 at that point in time with about 1:43 to go. No blood for the final 1:43. The game goes into overtime, and Mark Scheifele with a golden opportunity to score. He had a breakaway from basically center ice in on Ottinger, and he goes low blocker side, and Ottinger makes a really nice save, and the puck ends up transitioning back up the ice. And it's Thomas Harley getting his 5th of the season, assist to Matt Duchene, and assist to Heiskanen. It's a little bit of 55 on 55 violence as Scheifele is caught out there for too long of a shift. I think they said on the broadcast about 1:25 or so, and he's flat-footed, and Harley is coming downhill, and Harley takes the pass from Duchene and is easily past Scheifele, and then he beats Connor Hellebuyck, who was, of course, furious about the lack of a whistle for the loose strap, but nonetheless, they're celebrating in the Lone Star State. 4-3 tonight on the backs of this Harley goal from Duchene and Heiskanen at the 2:05 mark of overtime.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, like you said, Scheifele had a long breakaway there, and he puts a good shot. It's a good save by Jake Ottinger, but it's a nice goal by Thomas Harley, but what incredible work by Matt Duchene, right? Like he's spinning around and he gets a beautiful pass into Harley, who makes no mistake. And Team Canada, guys, is obviously hoping that Harley's going to score some goals like that in Italy, right? But, good on the Jets for getting a point. But, yeah, sure, that would have been nice if they could have got that extra point.
Yeah.
Doug is vocal, though. Doug is saying there was an obvious too many men on Dallas, too.
And I don't disagree with Doug. I mean,
it did seem that Harley came on a little early. I thought
so
I kind of noticed that on in real time on the broadcast. Yeah. I was like, it just seemed like he was, but I mean, sometimes, it's also hard to know, right? Because where the guy jumps off the bench and then the other guy's coming on, like leaving the ice surface. Sometimes we don't see that, right? But I agree with Doug a little bit. I'd have to look at it again, and I haven't had a chance to really kind of see it, but it did seem like that in real time.
that was that's what we talked about. That what might have been, if I had to predict what Hellebuyck was upset about, it was either going to be the strap or it was going to be maybe the Dallas players jumping on the ice too soon here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was complaining about both, Drew.
It might have been both. You're right. In any event,
it's like my strap is loose. We got too many men on the ice. Come on, Francois.
The referees did not agree, and the Dallas Stars leave tonight with a 4-3 victory over the Jets. The Jets finished the road trip with a 2-1-1 record, which most people would have said is probably not a bad record on this 4-game road trip, but it's probably not nearly good enough for the Winnipeg Jets, given where they currently are in the Western Conference standings. Before we head to break, some sad news to pass along. For those of you of a certain generation, you remember Peter Young was the sportscaster on CKY TV, the 6 o'clock newscast. He was the sports guy for a long time. One of the sort of preeminent sports guys here in Winnipeg. Our buddy Joe Pascucci tweeted this out. Peter Young, it sounds like he lost his battle earlier today. And so we want to send our condolences, obviously, to his loved ones. He had a great legacy and a great, he was a great fixture on the Winnipeg sports scene for so many years. So we will join the chorus in sending their condolences to his loved ones. Peter Young, gone too soon, of course, earlier tonight, that news coming out. We'll come back with more of the Illegal Curve post-game show, more on the Jets and the Dallas Stars. So stay with us. Drew Mandel, Dave Manouk, Ezra Ginsburg with you. It's a Monday night edition of the Illegal Curve post-game show.
I want to thank you for not betting with Play Now and choosing our illegal gambling site instead.
Because we couldn't afford things like this without your money.
So much of your money.
Now you might have questions like,
Do our profits benefit your community?
No.
or bet with Play Now, Manitoba's local legal and secure gambling site.
Dining, entertainment, parking, and convenience, all in one spot. City Place is located in the heart of downtown Winnipeg, attached to the Canada Life Centre. Whether you're working, living, or out for a night in the downtown, make City Place your go-to destination before or after the fun finds you. Lunchtime, game time, anytime. Visit City Place at 333 St. Mary Avenue, next to Canada Life Centre.
Boys, I've made an important life decision, and I need your support.
Oh, boy.
I've decided to get a grill.
You mean a barbecue grill for cooking? Like, that's not an important life decision, Ezzy.
No. A grill for my teeth.
A grill for your teeth? Do I even want to know why you're doing this?
It's simple, really. Every time I go to Holt Dental, I get treated so very well by Dr. John and his team that I need to keep finding additional reasons to go back. I rely on Holt Dental for all of my dental needs, and they do it all, from regular cleanings to cosmetic dentistry. Plus, they have free parking at their front door, and you know how much I love my convenient parking.
For all your dental needs, Illegal Curve recommends Holt Dental, conveniently located on Taylor Avenue near Grant Park Mall. For more information, visit them online at holtdental.ca. For over 40 years, Rumors Restaurant and Comedy Club has been Winnipeg's home for stand-up comedy. Renowned in the comedy world as a must-play venue, Rumors has recently been named Canada's top comedy club and a top 5 comedy club in North America. From birthday parties to date nights to fundraisers, wedding socials, and everything in between, Rumors is your destination for the best live entertainment Winnipeg has to offer. For information on upcoming shows, Rumors' incredible promotions, and to purchase show tickets, visit rumorscomedyclub.com.
This January, it's Pasta Tuesday every day at Boston Pizza. Our pastas start at just $11.99 all month long. Create your own or go gourmet for a little extra. Plus, the deal continues every Tuesday all year. Hungry for saucy savings? Hungry for BP.
Reminder, somebody remind me this, to check in with our friends at BP, because Pasta Tuesday all month long was the month of January. So they need to send us a new video. So Dave, remind me about that. I'll send them an email tomorrow. But big thanks to our friends at Boston Pizza. They're a big sponsor of ours. And of course, big thanks to them for having that Pasta Tuesday all month long promotion.
As he enjoyed the Pasta Tuesday a few times.
I was there a couple weeks ago. Jambalaya fettuccine was excellent.
Jambalaya. There you go. Also, tragedy coming out of Alberta.
Yes.
A number of players with the Southern Alberta Mustangs organization, which is a junior hockey team in Alberta, were killed tragically in a car accident earlier today on their way to practice, is my understanding. So, of course, this brings up shades of the Humboldt Broncos tragedy. So you'll have to, unfortunately, add our voice to that chorus of condolences as well. We'd much rather talk about happy, fun things on this program, as we usually do, but apparently there's been some sad news around the hockey world tonight, so we would be remiss if we didn't mention that as well. So we remind everybody to stay safe out there, whatever you're doing. Just drive safe, stay safe, be safe. If it means taking an extra couple of minutes to get there, take those extra couple minutes. It's winter time in Canada, and we all know that the driving can be a little bit more hectic this time of year. Is that safe to say, right, gentlemen?
I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on the weekend, it was a little bit crazy with the blowing snow. That's when it really gets dangerous, right? Like, it's that windy. And so I agree with you 100%, Drew. Just slow down. You're going to get to where you need to get to. Just be mindful of everybody else on the streets.
Yeah, exactly right. Let's wrap up tonight with at least something on a positive note. The Manitoba Moose, Dave M. I know. We got to look at the positives.
Sure.
Put on your antlers. It's time for the Minuk Moose Minute on the Illegal Curve Hockey Show.
If I'm not, I was going to say, I think Ezzy's wearing the sweater that I was wearing in that video, but the Manitoba Moose, boys.
Hang on, is he wearing your sweater?
No, I can't tell. Is that a zip up or is that a hoodie?
No.
Like, zip up.
Are you sure? Like, is he wearing the same? Like, is he wearing the same physical sweater?
No, I think that's the Navy one.
You guys want me to take it off here?
No, but I just want to make sure he's not raiding your closet and stealing Dave's clothes. Is what I'm concerned.
No. This is my hoodie. I've had this hoodie for like 2 years.
That's what I'm concerned about.
All right, I appreciate the concern, Drew.
Wouldn't mind raiding Dave's closet though. He has a nice little. I got
a lot of IC merch now that
wardrobe. He's got a great.
Definitely bought a lot of IC merch in the last little run.
I'm sure it's gonna fit you, Big Daddy.
No,
he can get up the sleeves. It's fine.
Dave's more svelte.
Well, the Moose. Speaking of,
I'm trying, Drew. I'm trying. I told you, intermittent fasting. I'm trying.
The Jacob's ladder. I know. We had the conversation. It's all working out well for you. Soon enough, you can wear Dave's clothes.
The Manitoba Moose wrapping up a 4-game homestand against the Rockford Ice Hogs. The team that I reported beat them on Saturday 4-1. So, what was the encore going to look like as they wrap things up, trying to get things look good? 4 out of their last 5. Could they make it 5 of 6, Ezzy? That was the question. And they started off the same way they did on Saturday, scoring in the first minute. Braden Yager, Jets prospect, 2023 first rounder. He scored his 5th of the year on the power play, which much kind of like the Jets. The one thing that's inexplicable with the Manitoba Moose this year is their power play has been atrocious. They're like 31st in the AHL or 30th. They're not very good, but they score early. I think about 46 seconds into the game. It was Braden Yager who gets that one. Only change in the lineup, I should mention, was Dominic DiVincentis. He gets the net. Thomas Millage had it on Saturday, and still no Walker Dewar. So that was his 3rd straight game that he's missed with a lower body injury. So no real changes, but the Moose open up the scoring, and then they add to their lead. David Gustafson, the Gus Bus, he makes it a 2-0 game with his 8th goal of the year, kind of buries a rebound. So the Moose looked like they're going to cruise, but the Ice Hogs actually played pretty well in the second and third periods. Outshot the Moose at one point. It was like 11-2 in the second period, but the Moose had scored on one of their 2 shots, and then they outshot them. It was a significant margin in the third period. So they were outshot, I think, 27-11 over the last 40 minutes. But DiVincentis was excellent. He stopped 32 of the 33 shots he faced, and the Moose improved to 22-15-3 on the season as they finished their season series with Rockford, going 5-2-0 and they will be home. They'll be practicing tomorrow. Jets are traveling, so I'll have Moose coverage tomorrow on the website. We'll have a practice report, and then they are heading off to Texas, where they'll play a pair of games before the AHL All-Star break, which unfortunately for them, for Thomas Milic, I should say, is in Rockford, not in Palm Springs.
Next year, hopefully it'll be in Palm Springs or somewhere nicer.
And Ezzy, because I know you need this, Kevin He, 2 goals,
give
3
it to
assists,
me. Let me have it.
5-point game for the Flint Firebirds, and named the OHL Player of the Week. So we got to, I'm trying not to do too much of that stuff, but I mean, when a Jets prospect has a 5-point night, you got to mention it. He was pretty good in that game for Flint. So there you go. There's my 2. There's my Moose update, and then there's my prospect update.
There you go. As only Dave M can do. He is the expert when it comes to the Moose and the prospects.
And
yes,
I will say one last thing.
Okay.
Before you get to Wheatland, the folks at Wheatland, but today would have been my Baba's 104th birthday. Shout out Baba Toots. I was actually looking at old pictures of her. I saw a few of funny ones of her with Ezzy for dinner, and her and Ezzy having conversations. So my Baba would have been 104 today. She lived to 95, so I'm not complaining. I got a lot of time with her, but today was her 104th birthday. And she kept on going.
Rest in peace to Baba Toots Manuk. And Dave mentioned I was lucky to be at some of those Manuk Pollock family dinners.
Yeah.
And one time, the best line was Richie's mom, Maureen. I was sitting beside Baba Toots, and Maureen goes, "Baba, you're sitting beside Ezra. Say something." And she said, "What do you want me to say?" It's very funny. I'll always remember that. She had a great sense of humor, and obviously was an amazing person in your family, Dave. So definitely miss her for sure.
There you go. Well said by both of you. I never had the pleasure of meeting her. I don't think she ever wanted to meet me.
Really?
No, of course I met her. I'm joking.
I'm like, wait a second. That makes no sense.
I'm joking. All right. Big thanks to our friends at Wheatland Hockey. They're great people. They have great programming. They're building skills, character, and excellence on and off the ice. It's offering development-focused, inclusive programs that build hockey skills while fostering confidence, leadership, and resilience. There's something for everybody. No matter what your skill level is, Wheatland Hockey is there to help. wheatlandhockey.ca. Big thank you to all of our sponsors. We remind everybody, Wednesday, very special day Wednesday is going to be, but we'll know why that is on Wednesday. So join us at City Place, 12 noon. We're going to get you set for the Jets and the Montreal Canadiens, the last game before the Olympic break. So join us in downtown Winnipeg at City Place, 12 noon on Wednesday for a special edition of the Illegal Curve Hockey Show. And then later on Wednesday evening, the Illegal Curve post-game show. It's going to be the last you'll hear of us for at least 3 weeks. So be sure to join us on Wednesday.
3 weeks? What are you talking about? We'll be on
we'll still have the Saturday show.
No, and I'm talking about post-game show.
You weren't very clear, Drew. You had me panicking. I'm like, wait a second. Was there an adjustment to the plan that I don't know about?
Yeah, I'm taking off. I'm gone for 3 weeks. You guys are on your own.
That's fine. So you shouldn't have said us. You should have just said me.
Yeah, no. We'll be there still for the Saturday shows, at least a couple of the Saturday shows during the break. But the last post-game show will be Wednesday until after the Olympic break, and 12 noon Wednesday at City Place. So join us there. Also, big thanks to our friends at Boston Pizza, as I mentioned, Wheatland Hockey, Holt Dental. I'll be at Holt Dental tomorrow morning. My son. Looking forward to that. Play now.
Wait, I have a question. Should we go down and shoot a new commercial? If you're going to be there.
Like tomorrow? No.
What time are you going to be there, Drew?
Actually, Laura's taking him, so I won't be there.
Interesting.
Yeah. Big thanks to our friends at Rumors Restaurant and Comedy Club, and of course, Play Now as well. They're the title sponsor of all of our programming. For Dave Manuk, for Ezra Ginsburg, we remind you that if you haven't already done so, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast. We'll do that. We'll be back on Saturday, of course, as well. The Saturday morning show isn't going anywhere during the Olympic.
Kevin's asking what happens on the Saturday show, Drew.
Yeah, we'll be here on Saturday. Don't worry about it. The Saturday show will continue. We'll be here this Saturday. We'll be here on the 21st. We'll talk about the 14th.
Well, I can tell you what's going to be this Saturday. It's going to be the 17th anniversary of the Illegal Curve Hockey Show. 17 years, boys.
No, you see, the 17th anniversary is Wednesday. It's
No, I know, but
literally
it's-
Wednesday,
but he-
February.
but he-
It's literally February the 4th.
I think that's
No,
what
but
Drew
the
was trying to
Saturday
get
show,
to.
the Saturday show is the closest to the anniversary.
Yeah, because it was
celebration.
because it was used to be Saturday shows. It wasn't Wednesday, was it?
Yeah.
No, it actually was Wednesday, February 4th, 2009, because it was the Kick FM show.
Oh,
It's
right.
literally the 17-year anniversary.
No, but what I meant is it's the closest. Saturday is the closest to that date, so that would be our 17th anniversary because the 4th is a Wednesday. That's why I said that.
And we started on a Wednesday, is what I'm saying. The first ever broadcast was Wednesday, February the 4th, 2009. You can't get any closer than the exact Wednesday 17 years later.
Wow. And you know what? But and you know what happened?
got Dave.
But I love that. I knew you were holding on to that one, but you got me, Ezzy. I will say, Drew, and not only so that's that our anniversary coming up in what is that? In 2 days?
2 days.
But
Wednesday.
no, 2 days, 17-year anniversary. I've been on every show all 17 years, but I will say
Never missed an episode.
never missed an episode. And then 10 days later, actually less than 10 days later, is our 5-year anniversary on YouTube.
There you go.
That's when-
Anniversaries galore.
So the best thing
coming
that
up.
ever happened to us is when TSN got killed and or sorry, but 1290 got killed and we started on this format. So
There you
good
go.
times.
Lots of things to celebrate. We'll see you Wednesday at 12 noon, everybody. Until then, keep it locked to illegalcurve.com for all your latest. This is a good comment from Stonewall Dave 595. You three goofballs arguing about exactly when exactly your anniversary is, in fact, the most perfect way to celebrate. And you are right about that, Stonewall Dave. So with that in mind, we'll say good night and good luck. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. This has been the Illegal Curve post-game show. We'll see everybody on Wednesday afternoon and again on Wednesday night.